Welcome back to another episode of the Cat's Corner. I'm Casey Campbell, along with Novi head hockey coach Dane Baruzini. Hello, how are you?
Doing well. How are you, Casey?
I am doing well. Before we start the show, we got to thank today's sponsor, Engrave It All USA. Of course, Michelle and her team can engrave just about anything, and you can bring your items in that you already have, or they can make something completely from scratch. Remember, if you can dream it, they can laze it. Products include from tumblers to sweatshirts and t-shirts to trucker hats to beanies and much, much more. Orders are just complete in about 3 days. Head to engraveitalusa.com to learn more. And thank you to Engrave It All USA for sponsoring today's episode of the Cat's Corner. The link is below in the description. So of course, big win over Gladwin on Friday. We'll just talk about that after all the after a pretty interesting tough week for you guys.
Yeah, no, we got a resilient group, so we had a good week of practice that led to a good Friday game. I mean, it was our first home game since like December 13th or 15th. I mean, so it was over a month since we had home games. We've been jonesing to get back in the home, have our fans there, and they didn't disappoint. Anytime you score 10 goals, your offense is clicking. Anytime you give up 4 goals, you need to improve defensively, and that's kind of where we fell. We'd like to be a little bit better on the defensive end in that game, but in general, we were happy with our effort, happy to get some guys some time that may not always get it and get some big goals from, I think we had 8 different goal scorers, so that was big for us.
Yeah, lots of scoring this week. So what was that like to see? And if you want to do your 3 stars of the week, you can.
I mean, the scoring was nice. I mean, it got started. We scored in the first minute. Freshman Brady Chippa got us on the board pretty early off of a face-off win. Found the rebound after he won the draw himself. I mean, so it's always nice to get energy going, get your young guys going early, and just kind of continued. Scored 2 on the power play. Got just a lot of guys stepping up, which was nice. We were still short 5-6 players. So even despite, having some guys, injured or, unhealthy, we were able to kind of overcome there. I mean, so for, you look at 3 stars. I mean, I gotta give Gladwin one of them. I mean, they made that long trip. They came down, came over. I mean, they said it almost took 3 hours. They show up, they play the game, and then they headed to Detroit the next day for a game. So I mean, just being able to play somebody we don't get to play. I just really appreciate that, making the trip out. Just getting our fans back. I mean, that's always huge. I mean, they were definitely the second star for us. We could feel the energy. I mean, every time we scored, every time we made a big play, that just kind of, fueled us. It was nice for our guys to have somebody to cheer with during successes. I know several players, went to our student section to kind of celebrate after goals. So that was just awesome to have. Then if I look at an individual, Luke Go, the boys call him G Money. He scored a power play goal, had an assist as well. Just gave great effort. I mean, he's a guy that is just the constant teammate. He works hard every practice. Every time he's out there, he's giving his best. So, we're happy to always see him succeed. He's now got 2 goals on the year. He's got 3 points. I mean, he's just continuing to chip along and provide for us. So, I know the guys were super excited about that. The coaches were as well. So, those would be our 3 stars.
Yeah. Okay. So, it's going to be a pretty busy week for you guys. Where are we at?
Yeah, really busy week. Tomorrow we've got Salem. It's a KLAA opponent. We fared pretty well against KLAA East this year. So far 3-1. We'd like to kind of wrap that up at 4-1 against a tough Salem team that's playing really good hockey right now. They took Brighton, to the brink. They got the tie. They're the lone KLAA team to get a point from them in league play. So that kind of starts us off. It's back on the road. You get to take the bus trip a little bit down south to Plymouth, playing a tough environment against a strong team. And then we're going a little old school Friday and Sunday with a home with Cap City. Kind of bringing back just a different feel, and playing a team that, matches up pretty similar to us. Hardworking team, really tries to go defense, goaltending defense out. And we get to play at Munn, which is exciting. But, it's a tight turnaround, Wednesday game, Thursday practice, Friday game, another Sunday game. And then we also have a game next Monday. So it's a lot kind of coming on. It's more of that battle tested that we need going into playoffs. And it's 2 tough opponents or 3 tough games. So we're looking forward to that. We want to play the best of the best that we can, and Salem and Cap City just gives us that ability to continue to do that.
Yeah, for sure. Big 3 weeks. What do you feel like you guys need to see as we are getting closer to the end. It's only a few more weeks left until the end of the regular season.
Yeah, I mean, we're 3 weeks away from regional playoffs beginning. Right now we're kind of playing that MPR game. Our goal is to finish in that 3 spot, which would give us a game Saturday of that week. I think it's the 24th. Just not trying not to get the play-in game as well. But for us, our big focus all year has been just continuing better. Our power play, our penalty kill has been really solid all year. That's been a rock for us. So it's just really improving the defensive zone, kind of winning those battles, and then just establishing consistent gameplay down in the opponent's end. And we've seen that consistently. The UP trip was really good for us in that regard. Allowed us to have a really good game against Howell. A really strong win against Plymouth. We played a really good UFD team with only 12 skaters, and still we're really competitive until the end. So it's just keep that compete high. I mean, a big thing we're looking forward to is getting a couple of guys off the IR. They'll happen in a week or two from now. And then just stay healthy down the stretch. I mean, that's a key for us. Stay healthy, stay competing, and just continue to get better in our own zone and let the process take care of itself.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for this week's edition of the Cat's Corner. Tune in next week where you'll hear about how these games went, and plus you'll hear preview the upcoming games against Walled Lake Northern and the upcoming crossover game. We'll talk to you next week on the Cat's Corner.